Hey, how you doing, Zeno? You alright, man?
What's up, brother? I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm chill, dude. Just had a little bit of a long day at work. Been streaming a little bit, did a little bit of casting, but I'm feeling good. How you feeling anyway, man? Because you were feeling a bit rough the other day. You on the mend?
Right.
Cool. But anyway, yeah. So what are your? I mean, do you think that Vainglory got kind of lucky that they're delaying the NA release of Arena of Valor?
Um. Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to mute myself for a second.
That's fine. I think you got company anyway, haven't you? So say hey for us.
Yeah. The Arena of Valor release next year, I believe. Now. Um.
Yeah,
And NA.
yeah, they said they delayed it. Again, I don't know if they've given a specific date on when they're actually releasing it. I mean, it's gonna obviously be next year now, but I don't know if
You have no idea.
yeah. Has Maxman not joined us yet? I need to. I just realised he might be. 1 second. Yeah, there he is. I need to give him role. There you go. Maxman can join us now. In fact, can I just drag him into the friggin' room? Can I do that? I don't know how Discord works. He'll get himself there eventually. Um, I
But
can't
yeah.
join. You can now. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, basically, what I mean, how are you feeling? Obviously, Zeno, you're a pro player, so I mean, you're going to be one of the biggest people affected by the 5v5 implementation. I mean, are you excited to have potentially new people joining? You know, your team composition, or does it kind of worry you synergy wise that you know with so many players on the team, it's going to open itself up to more friction, to less communication potentially?
No. Like I can't wait for a 5v5 setting. Um.
You just like the rest of us, man. It's cool. It's good. It's good.
Um. I've been a part of MOBAs since they started back in Warcraft, Starcraft days, and it's always been like a lot of like 5v5 is basically just the standard. Um, and yeah, I think that right now the 3v3 like it's great, but the map is just so boring and linear and not a lot of objectives. Hopefully the 5v5 brings a super unique play style and a lot of macro play.
Yeah, I think there's definitely be so much more strategy. It's going to open itself up. I mean, right now we've seen in especially in like the championships and stuff like that, we've seen just how big of an element the drafting has become because there's not too much like in the game itself that you can play around loads. The drafting has become like this huge focus. I mean, it's always a focus in all MOBAs, but it literally feels like there's a ton of games now that are literally decided in the draft before the game's even played out. And I think that with the 5 versus 5, there's going to be so much variation. You're going to see like captains played top. You're going to see, you know, different captains played mid as mage. You're going to, it's going to open everything up like loads. I mean, what role do you see yourself staying jungle? Do you think you might kind of want to play? Because I know you've not always played jungle in other MOBAs, have you?
No, no. I'm primarily an AD carry or marksman or whatever they're called in other MOBAs.
Yeah. Are you thinking that if that role kind of opens up in a 5 versus 5 scenario, you might be tempted to kind of start shifting that way, or do you think other players in general are going to start sort of we're going to see that big shift going on as far as these 5v5 scenarios?
Um, I think the main thing that I'm like looking forward for 5v5 is the shifting of carries. Basically, like you're gonna see the laners that lean more towards weapon power carries go basically to the AD, like marksman or AD carry role, and then like the mage focused carries. Like so, they're gonna all excel in the 5v5 instead of just having like a stagnant meta in lane. Um,
Yeah, man.
But yeah, for myself, I'm not sure where I'll end up in the meta. We'll see. Like I can play just about any character in Vainglory, so it's like,
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
huh.
yeah. There's pretty much nothing you can't play. I think what we've seen anything, and obviously I've had the pleasure of kind of playing and sort of getting to see you play a bit of Arena of Valor outside of streaming and stuff like that. And I know that you kind of you took to that really well, and I think with your previous MOBA experience, you kind of excelled at that game, even though you were probably playing with loads of lag, trying to get on it from NA. Um, I
Yeah,
mean,
nearly got Masters, but I just didn't have time to play it.
yeah, I'm going to say the same thing, even though I was clearly not even nearly as close. I think I got to Diamond at one point, and then I dropped back down into Plat. I think I ended in Plat last season, but yeah, no, yeah, I'm really excited for 5v5. I'm really excited for Vainglory. To be fair, I'm really just because. I mean, it's felt like Vainglory's got really stale. Like you said, like this last sort of 6 months, kind of almost 10 months, I'd say. Like almost this year. It just it having the same map, just bringing in new heroes hasn't always felt like it's given it the oomph and the rejuvenation that it needed. I think that having the map, that map come into play is just going to throw it all out of whack and kind of in a really cool, fun way.
Yeah, I completely agree. Um, I'm really excited for it and excited for the future of VG. Hopefully,
Yeah. Do you think it's going to
well,
replace 3 versus 3 as the main thing? I mean, I kind of feel like it's going to just because of familiarity, and I think because it's going to be so much more popular. Um,
um, I would say that I don't know about the beginning, but I really hope it replaces the competitive side eventually, for sure. Just because, like, again, as you already said, like 5v5 is just so much more dynamic. Like, it's just so much where like one role will be completely countered out, like another role in a 5v5 can take up that slack. While in a 3v3, if you counter like two characters on the enemy team, the game's basically over. So it's like
yeah.
I definitely can't wait for that.
If you don't mind taking a question, someone in the stream basically just asked, Solbash just asked, uh, they asked how huge are support roles in 3 versus 3 currently, and do you think they will become more useful or less useful in 5 versus 5s?
Um, that's a good question. I think it really depends on what Vainglory decides to change activatable wise. Um,
Mm.
but supports are always essential, like especially if the meta goes to a standard AD carry, support, mage, mid lane. Like obviously it varies, but I'm just going off like standard. And then jungler and top are usually a bruiser, tank, or an assassin. Um, and basically support's really essential because it keeps your backline alive. Um,
Yeah.
so in a 5v5, it's probably going to become even more important because if you lose one carry, like that's a huge damage output gone. Like especially in a 5v5, 80 carries are like your sustained damage, and usually the mage picks up the slack in the early mid game. Arena of Valor is a little bit different, where the 80 carry, all like 80 carries scale crazy,
Yeah.
and like
That,
once they get to late game, they just obliterate everybody.
that game has some severe balancing issues. Let's be honest. There are some heroes in that game that are just flat out broken, and then some heroes in that game that are just you're just never going to see in a game ever.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the downfall of some of the games out there. I think Vainglory has done a really good job in the past of staying surprisingly balanced despite everything. I mean, there's always going to be heroes that feel slightly broken or slightly overpowered, but obviously you can compare if you get the ban element, you get all that sort of side of things, and it kind of evens it out quite a bit. Um, so I feel like that. I don't know. I feel like a 5 versus 5 map. You're going to see. Do you think that there's going to be a lot of? I mean, I'm a captain main. I play captain a lot. I like to save people's asses and take credit. That's just how I roll. But do you think there's going to be a lot of like? Do you think there's going to be like a new role basically? Do you think there's a lot of captains that they're currently captains that are just not going to be called captains anymore? Like, do you think Catherine's going to be going top and just living top? And do you think the more squishy sort of like mage like or sustain heroes like Lyra and Adagio are going to be put firmly in a support role?
Um, I definitely think Lyra's gonna be like just broken in 5v5. Um, her bulwark is just gonna wreck team fights so
Yeah.
heavy.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, if you can
And
eliminate five
then
people's movement with one skill, that's ridiculous.
yeah, exactly.
That's an ultimate.
Yeah, I could see Arden moving to a top laner. Catherine probably as well.
Yeah.
I'd see a lot like probably the starting meta I would depict for bot lane is high harass.
Yeah, so
So
a
like
more aggressive kind of support role type.
Yeah, like
type
Adagio, Lyra, Lance, like
Yeah.
things that'll like be major game, like make a play early and take that turret fast or get the early objective. But
Uh,
yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that change. But unfortunately, I have practice, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, like, dude, it means a lot, man. I'll talk to you a little bit after this. I might ask you permission to actually post this because it's been quite a cool conversation. It's been quite. I imagine there's a lot of people in the sort of Vainglory scene and MOBA scene that would find it quite interesting to just hear people's general thoughts and a discussion about it. But if you don't want it to be posted, by all means, we won't. But yeah, we'll chat about it at a later point. But yeah, thanks very much, Zeno, for stopping by, dude, and have a good practice, bro.
Hey, thanks, brother. Have a good one.
Yeah, chat to you later, man.